For me, the true power of GeForce is really about sort of understanding or envisioning the possible. The other thing about GeForce is they sort of, in some ways, mark time, and every year it strikes me that our industry, the pace is accelerating. The pace of change is accelerating.
Ask your customers how it feels to do business with you. Whatever they say, that's your brand.
Consumers are going the way of self-service, and our job is to really bring it all together for them.
So, as I mentioned, we've been always known as a contact center, and we're actually going through a bit of a soft launch right now where we're focusing on this being an advice center. When I saw the theme of making it personal, it's not about just making it personal for our client, it's also about making it personal for employees.
It's time to start thinking about consistent experiences. It's time to start thinking about how do I create multimodal experience across all my channels? How do I use information where it's relevant to the interaction this customer is looking for? But the effort is the biggest element in getting great customer engagement, to get happy customers.
We wanted a software-based system that we could bolt our best-in-breed products on top of. We didn't want to be locked in to one vendor. That's one of the main reasons we chose Genesys as the foundation to our environment.
There is a hunger out there amongst all of these demands to also make it one-to-one. They're ultimately saying, I want to be seen. I want to be heard by the brain.
So what you're telling us is that you want to help make it easy for customers, and you want us to make it easy for customers. The customer effort by a mile was the biggest driver of both advocacy and distraction. The more difficult you make it for your advisors, for your frontline staff, the more time they are having to spend managing their way through complex processes and systems, and less time they are spending listening to customers and really understanding the need of the customer.
But the orchestration of the interaction, the hot part of the interaction should be managed by Genesys. So we want to reinforce our conviction on being on the right track on the Salesforce.com and Genesys choices. Make sure that we make the most of it.
As an independent observer, I think you probably should move to new platforms. And I think that platform that has the most promise is SIP-related.
We introduced a new workforce management. We had an old one, but we put the workforce management in a more center position, a more strategic view on it. So that's why we invest in the Genesys workforce management system.
And we're really seeing customer buying behavior being fundamentally different. Your customers' buying behavior, consumers, they're really looking, about 57% of their decisions are online probably before they engage you in the sales or marketing process. And sales, marketing, and customer service are all blending together.
And if you do that, your customers will respond. And when your customers respond in a fashion where they go, wow, they made that so easy for me, I'm so engaged, that will stimulate the behavior in that second moment of truth to say, hey, that's a great organization. I really highly recommend you do it. It buys you forgiveness, it buys you a second chance.
We are in the business of happiness and not technology.